Meanwhile, America is reopening in certain areas. More than half of all states are moving ahead with plans to partially reopen businesses. And restaurant owners are faced with the task of working out a safe, profitable plan. Restaurant Brands operates 26,000 restaurants in more than 1,000 countries. It's the parent company of Burger King, Tim Hortons, and Popeyes. And joining us to walk through their path to a new normal is Jose Sill, CEO of Restaurant Brands. Jose, you've either started reopening over in the Asia Pacific region or mostly stayed open with a different format, even in the U.S. and Canada at this point. Is that about right? Are you about 85, 90% open in the United States for takeout?
Hey, good morning, Joe. Yeah, actually, we're closer to 95+% open in the U.S. and across our brands, as well as in Canada. We're about 85% open with Tim Hortons, and then when you get to Asia, we're closer to 80%. And Europe is we still have countries that are shut down and in complete lockdown. Although it's beginning to open up, we're seeing Spain, France, UK, Italy, markets that were completely shut down begin to open up, and we're seeing tremendous pent-up demand. There's been images all over the internet, as I'm sure you guys have seen, with long queues in the drive-thrus in Europe, and also we're seeing the beginning of the opening of the dining rooms here in the U.S.
Jose, it's obvious, I guess, that it's a microcosm, what you're saying, of what we're looking at as a country. Not all of your areas are the same. It's not a monolith in the United States. There must be some areas where you'd almost like to open the dining room, but that's not the case yet.
Yeah, it's actually quite a challenge for our teams. We're working closely with local municipalities because each municipality in the U.S., as an example, is looking at this with a lens towards their communities, towards their public and their constituents. And so we're working closely trying to figure out, is it going to be 25% dining room open initially in terms of occupancy, or is it going to be 50%? What's the timing of that? In either case, we've been open for business in North America since the beginning of the crisis back in March. So we've been working really hard with our team members as well as our franchise owners to ensure that our teams are safe. We've rolled out PPE across North America as well as internationally. We've got contactless procedures that we put in place for drive-thrus as well as for pickup and for delivery. Those are going to be really helpful steps in order to open dining rooms. We're also looking at changes in the dining rooms to ensure we can stay socially distant. We've added acrylic screens in many markets to ensure that the front counter remains safe. And consumers, ultimately, the goal here is to give people confidence that they can enjoy a meal at Burger King, Popeyes, or Tim Hortons safely, that our team members are being treated well, and that we have their interest in mind. And we've seen that continue to evolve, and we made a lot of progress during the time that we've only had drive-thrus open. And we feel really good about the plans we have in place to be able to reopen our dining rooms as soon as we can.
Jose, just personally, we have tried to continue to patronize drive-thrus and takeout. But I got to tell you, in the back of my mind, I mean, I wear a mask and gloves and everything else, but in the back of my mind, I worry that you wouldn't know if an asymptomatic employee had been at one of your sites. And do you feel confident that there's enough that you can do in terms of keeping the facility clean and testing employees and the PPE that you talked about? You feel 100% sure that consumers can go in and get a takeout or get a delivery or order online, and that what they get, the bags are going to be safe, the containers that the food in, there's not going to be any contamination anywhere? You feel confident it can be done?
Joe, we've been running these brands for decades, right? Burger King has been around since 1954, Tim's since 1964, and Popeyes since 1972. The hallmark and kind of the basis of what we offer to consumers is confidence and trust in the quality of the food that we serve, and the fact that they can enjoy it safely every day, pre, post-COVID, in any environment. So we wouldn't move forward without the confidence of our ability to deliver safely. We work closely with federal and state health agencies to ensure that the procedures we have are the best that we could have in terms of ensuring the safety and well-being of our team members, as well as all of our guests. We've put in place temperature checks for quite some time. We were one of the first in North America, first brands in North America to do that. We've put in place, as I mentioned, PPE, contactless procedures. So if you visit one of our drive-thrus, we'll ensure that the transaction is going to be as contactless as possible to ensure minimal human contact to minimize any potential additional exposure, if any. But we haven't seen any issues here, and we're really confident in the process we're putting in place. I think, to be quite frank, the entire QSR industry has done an amazing job during the crisis to deliver consistently and safely. And I'm super proud of our franchise owners and our team members for doing an amazing job and taking this as serious as it is to ensure that we can continue to feed America during a difficult time as this one.
And I know you've bumped up the per hour compensation for everyone, which they obviously deserve. But business has got to be down a little. I mean, we go, and when I'm going, I think, in addition to me wanting to get something from the place, I want to try to support it. I want to try and do anything we can to minimize this. But with the $3 increase, margins must be hurt, and business has got to be down a little. Are you going to be? You're going to coast, not coast, but you're going to be able to navigate through these difficult times and come out the other side, in your view?
Yeah, absolutely. We have an incredibly resilient business, both at the company level and, importantly, at the restaurant level with our franchise owners. It's been very difficult. You don't see these types of situations ever. This is the first that any of us have gone through anything of this magnitude in terms of impact across the country and really across the globe. Our owners have been spectacular in terms of their commitment to safety, well-being, and then we've worked very closely with them since the beginning to ensure that we address all issues related to liquidity. It's ultimately a cash flow issue for small businesses. And I think the combination of the work that RBI has done with each of the brands to ensure that the owners have the liquidity necessary to weather the storm, plus some of the important government actions that have been taken here in the U.S. with the CARES Act and the PPP loans, in addition to some of the work that's happening in Canada with wage subsidies, all of that has helped ensure that small business owners, including our franchisees, are able to weather the storm during difficult times. Doesn't mean it's not really, really difficult, but our teams and our franchise owners have done a spectacular job of dealing with the circumstances and weathering the storm with pride and with a focus on the guest and ultimately doing our job well during a difficult time.